So next we have Charles and Tim Bradford from Witfoo Security.
All right, thanks, Ken. Witfoo is built by veterans of the military, law enforcement, and cybersecurity to deliver a comprehensive platform for sustaining success in cybersecurity operations.
Cybersecurity breaches have become a staple in mainstream news. The regular failures we are seeing are not because security attacks are not being detected. In fact, virtually every attack, including these on the screen, were detected by security tools. The problem is those alarms are buried in a haystack of thousands of irrelevant alarms and exasperated by the complexity and number of tools creating them. With the help of Fortune 500 companies, higher education, mid-market organizations, and representatives from physical law enforcement, we have combined the best practices of cybersecurity with the time-tested approaches in law enforcement to make triage a failure of the past.
Witfoo Precinct reduces the total amount of time and labor spent performing investigations by more than 90%, which means that alerts and alarms no longer have to be triaged. Every single event within a security architecture can be investigated every single day. And while the work is being performed, the system is organically producing business metrics on the efficiencies of the people doing the work, as well as the tools that are in play and how they're contributing to the effectiveness or shortcomings of the security practice.
Temporal link analysis and modeling human thought and suspicion are at the heart of Witfoo Precinct. Temporal link analysis builds meaningful graph relationships to model the modus operandi of attackers. It combines and standardizes diverse data into a single investigatable unit called an incident. These incidents increase clarity and reduce the unit of investigation. Instead of parsing through thousands of alarm rows, organizations investigate a multidimensional picture that tells a story which significantly reduces the time per investigation. This approach leverages the best capabilities of both the human investigator and their digital tools. Because of the systemic failure and pain that Witfoo was founded to correct, global spending on cybersecurity will exceed $120 billion in 2017.
Our customer-centric go-to-market strategy begins with providing the end users with everything they need to sell the value of Witfoo up the corporate chain of command. Our pricing model is very simple, it's cost contained, and it aligns with metrics that any CFO can approve. Through our online community, free trials of Witfoo are available for download. Online pricing calculators are also available. So prospective customers can visit our site, they can self-generate their own quotes, they can download, deploy, and evaluate Witfoo in less than an hour and begin producing metrics that justify an investment in our technologies. To achieve massive scale in terms of sales and support, we employ a 100% channel sales model. We recruit and train certified Witfoo reseller partners to help us identify, close, and support new customers. Our partner program is designed to meet every need that a partner could potentially have in selling our technology, and that's all facilitated through our next generation partner portal. To get our message out to our target audience, we produce educational cybersecurity seminars that are delivered both online and through our certified partners, as well as speaking at local, regional, and national security events. Combining these activities maximizes our ability to scale and keeps our marketing costs extremely low.
Witfoo levels up security by attacking on 3 different evolutionary tiers. Legacy security event management tools called SIEMs have been around since 2000, but are costly and fail to deliver the value expected by organizations. Witfoo can leverage or replace these tools at a fraction of the price while delivering instant value without the extreme complexity. The same can be said of the myriad of analytics and automation tools entering the market. By empowering and learning from our users, Witfoo provides a simpler yet more effective interface at a fraction of the investment. Witfoo is the first to market to provide detailed business metrics that allow for transformational conversations with the broader business. These features combined deliver the first platform to handle all aspects of cybersecurity operations at one remarkable price. In addition to Tim and myself, we are joined by Captain Reese Omar of the U.S. Navy with years of experience as an information security officer, and Detective Bill Rich of LAPD's Major Crimes Unit. Our advisory board consists of chief security officers from the Fortune 500, leading universities, as well as thought leaders from Dell and InfoWorld magazine.
Utilizing our growing channel program and our go-to-market strategy, we expect to grow to our business from a $5 million valuation in 2017 to a $250 million valuation exiting 2020. By the end of 2018, we expect to grow our customer base to 10 with $2.5 million in bookings and $1 million in annual recurring revenues. Year to date in 2017, we've closed $282,000 in revenue across 2 different customers, and we're actively working on more than $5 million in sales opportunities, including 10 active trials of our technologies spanning mid-market to Fortune 500 companies and covering verticals from manufacturing to healthcare to financial services. We have 2 national resellers that are representing us, and they are supported by a global distributor, which further accelerates our growth while minimizing risk in our overall cost of sales. Our traction to date has proven the value of our product, our messaging, and our go-to-market strategy. We're extremely excited about the future and to watch our traction grow in 2018 and beyond.
You can learn more about our business at our Start Engine campaign or at www.witfoo.com. Back to you, Ken.
Okay, guys, thank you very much for that seamless handoff. I'm going to go ahead and ask Al Zeise to hop right back on, and so he can kind of lead us to the next part of the conversation. Al, do you want to take it away?
Yes, the threats are ever growing and changing. How do you stay up with, because technology is also constantly changing at a speed that we can't even imagine at this point. How are you going to keep up with all that to make sure that you're staying ahead of the threats?
That's a great question. So fundamentally, the way that law enforcement, physical law enforcement handles security is something that we've learned a lot from. And so we've broken the different components of the way attackers attack, and we've standardized that taxonomy. And then we work with other vendors in the space, whether they're working on endpoints or firewalls or the other technologies, to teach the collective knowledge from those tools to our tools. So it standardizes and normalizes the information from those diverse and emerging technologies. So Witfoo Precinct isn't generating any net new alarms. We're understanding and processing the alarms being generated by other security vendors in a way that the end user, the investigator, can understand.
Okay, so how are you actually priced? Are you priced by, the larger the client, the more you actually are charging? So is it a seat license? Is it a transactional thing?
Yeah, we price by endpoint, which you just alluded to. The bigger the company, the bigger price. That's a very vendor-centric model. We're more customer-centric, and we like to offer a license that is somewhat containable. So we base our licensing on the number of endpoints or the IP addresses that we're reporting off of. A CFO can actually contain that number or dictate that number versus charging based on the amount of data that we're consuming or the events per second that are coming into our system. It's an OpEx license, so it's an annual subscription. The longer term you buy, the cheaper it becomes, and the more endpoints you have, typical economies of scale that go with software apply.
Okay. Who on your team actually understands the channel network? Because obviously to be successful, you really have to build a strong channel network.
Yeah, Charles and I both have a lot of experience both in building channels and supporting channels and seeing how channel programs fail. We've built ours kind of on anti-patterns. One of the things we do and employ is simple haggle-free pricing. And, partially that's to protect the reseller's margin. Our resellers are very coin operated, right? They get paid on gross profit or gross margin. So we want to protect that and avoid the never-ending dilemma out there with high volume, low margin resellers coming in when procurement shops it around and just winning the deal on the lowest price. So the no haggle pricing, the theory is no matter where you go to find a price quote on Witfoo, it's always going to be the same. Our pricing is public facing. Any customer out there can self-generate their own quote off of our website, and wherever they shop it, that price should be matched.
Yeah, and just one last thing to add to that. When we were building the company in the early days, we spent a lot of time interviewing prospective security partners and what is it that they look at in a partner channel that works. And the three things that came back were margin, ease of sell, and credibility. We need to make them look good because they have to stay in that account. So we've built a product and we've built a channel program that's tailored to those needs.
Very good. Thank you.